Hi friends, today we'll discuss about the liver in detail. Liver is the largest gland in the body, and then liver is the second largest organ after the skin in the body. Next, it is a partly exocrine and endocrine. As the exocrine, it secretes the bile juice, and endocrine, it releases its hormones into the blood, and it participates in the so many metabolic functions, and its main action is the detoxification. This is the small introduction about the liver. If we go in details of the liver, first we have to know about the location. It is located in the right side upper abdominal cavity. And then if we see according to the abdominal quadrants region, mostly it occupies the right hypochondric region, epigastrium. See here. These are the 9 hypochondric regions. You see the location of the liver. Like this we will see. This is the right hypochondric. This is the epigastrium, and this is the left hypochondric regions. So this liver occupies the right hypochondric part of the epigastrium, and it extends up to the left hypochondric regions. And then if we see the weight, then weight of the liver, it is 1500 grams. Average weight is 1500 grams. Whereas in males it is 1600. In females it is 1300. So we can take an average, it is 1500 grams. Next is the color. If we see the color of the liver, it is reddish brown in color, and the shape of the liver is a wedge shape. And then it comprises of surfaces. Like this is the what you are seeing. This is the anterior surface, and then right lateral surface. See, this is the right side having the right lateral surface. On above, this anterior surface will continue as the superior surface, and then this is the posterior surface. This is the posterior surface, and this is the inferior surface. Okay. And this liver will have only one prominent sharp inferior border. This inferior border will separate the anterior surface from inferior surface. This inferior surface is also known as the visceral surface, and rest of all the surfaces comes under the diaphragmatic surface. Anterior, superior, posterior, and right lateral surfaces will comes under the diaphragmatic surface, and then one and only the surface. This is the inferior surface, which is quadrilateral in shape. Now we will see the anterior surface. So this is the anterior surface. It will have the ligaments. These ligaments will divide the liver into two lobes, right lobe and left lobe. So 5/6 part of the liver, it is formed by the right lobe of the liver, whereas 1/6 part it is formed by the left lobe of the liver. And then for this right lobe of the liver, we'll see entire surfaces. This anterior superior surface, posterior surface, right lateral surface, and inferior surface. Okay. So now we'll see the anterior surface in detail. In the anterior surface, it is triangular in shape, and then on either side it is covered by the costal cartilages, ribs and costal cartilages, along with the diaphragm. But at the middle, a small area which is triangular in shape, it is directly related to the xiphisternum and to the anterior abdominal wall. And then this is the thing we'll see in the anterior surface. This is the falciform ligament which divides the right lobe from the left lobe. This falciform ligament, which is in sickle shaped falciform ligament, and then it passes towards the superior surface. It divides into the left triangular ligament and the right triangular ligament. Okay, this is the falciform ligament and right and left triangular ligament. Now we'll see the posterior surface, and then on this anterior surface, this is the ligamentum teres, which represents the left umbilical vein. It's the remnant of left umbilical vein. This is the ligamentum teres. See, this is the superior surface. This is the superior surface, which is quadrilateral in shape. And this is the posterior surface. This is the superior surface. In the superior surface, this is the superior layer of coronary ligament, and this is the inferior layer of coronary ligament. Both together joined together to form the right triangular ligament. This is the right triangular ligament, and this is the left triangular ligament. And another ligament here we'll see the, so between these two ligaments, this is the bare area which is not covered by the peritoneum, and this is the groove for inferior vena cava, and this is the ligamentum venosum. Ligamentum venosum, which is the remnant part of ductus venosus. This is the ligamentum venosum. This ligamentum venosum downwards it continues as the porta hepatis. In this porta hepatis, we'll see the structures. From behind to forward, we'll see the portal vein, hepatic artery, ducts, right and left hepatic ducts, lymphatics, and nerves. These are the structures we'll see from behind to forward in porta hepatis. So, these are the ligaments. On anterior surface, we'll see the falciform ligament, superior surface, right triangular ligament. On the right surface, on the right superior surface, we'll see the right superior layer of coronary ligament, inferior layer of coronary ligament joined together to form a right triangular ligament, and ligamentum venosum. This is the ligamentum teres. These ligaments will divide the right lobe from the left lobe. And if we see the posterior surface of the liver, this is the caudate lobe. So from this caudate lobe, on its lower aspect, a tail-like extension we'll see. So that's why we call it as a caudate lobe. So if we see the boundaries of the caudate lobe, on the right side we'll see the inferior vena cava. This is the inferior vena cava, and this is the hepatic vein. This is the inferior vena cava. On the left side we'll see the ligamentum venosum. Superior, it continues with the superior surface. Inferiorly, it is related to the porta hepatis. And then if we see, this is the, on right side it continues as the, here this caudate lobe will continues as the caudate process, whereas on the left side we'll call it as the papillary process. This is the caudate process, and this is the papillary process. And then on the left end of the porta hepatis, we'll see a small tuber-like elevation known as a tuber omentum. At this point, it will make a relation with the omentum coming from the stomach, lesser omentum coming from the stomach. And then this is about the caudate lobe. It will see on the posterior surface and its boundaries on right side, on left side, above and below. Next, we'll see this quadrate lobe. This quadrate lobe, it is seen in the inferior surface of the liver. Okay, this is the quadrate lobe. So if you see the boundaries of this quadrate lobe, on the right side, anteriorly it is bounded by the sharp inferior border. Posteriorly it is bounded by the porta hepatis. See, this is the quadrate lobe. Posteriorly by the porta hepatis, anteriorly by the inferior border, right side by the fossa of gallbladder, and left side by the ligamentum teres. So this is the quadrate lobe. Okay, quadrate lobe is seen in the inferior surface. Now we'll see the bare areas. Bare areas, there are 4 bare areas for the liver. First bare area is the area between the superior and inferior layer of coronary ligaments. This is the bare area. This bare area, it is not covered by the peritoneum. Okay, this is one of the bare area. Another one is groove for inferior vena cava, and another one is fossa for the gallbladder. Another one is porta hepatis. These are the 4 bare areas. Then if you see the position, this liver is kept in position by means of some factors it is keeping in position. The main factors is by the ligaments and intra-abdominal pressure, and another one is these hepatic veins are directly opening into the inferior vena cava. See, this is the porta hepatis. In this porta hepatis, this is not called a gateway. This is not called a hilum because all the structures are not present here in the porta hepatis. These hepatic veins are not present in this porta hepatis. These porta hepatic veins are directly draining into the inferior vena cava. Here we'll see only structures which enters. Some of the structures will enters. Those are nothing but hepatic artery and portal vein and nerves. These are the structures which enters the liver through this hilum, porta hepatis. Whereas the structures coming outside means these are nothing but right and left hepatic ducts with lymphatics. These are the structures coming outside the porta hepatis. And then see this area, this area we call it as a hepatorenal pouch. Usually this and liver is entirely covered by the peritoneum. And hepatorenal pouch means hepa means liver, renal means kidneys. This anterior layer of the kidneys are also covered by the peritoneum. In between, while covering this liver at this part, after covering it reflected onto the anterior surface of the kidneys. So there will be the creation of some space between these two. Here if we see, it makes a relation with the right kidney and right suprarenal gland. So between these two we will see a small peritoneal reflection with small space, that is known as a hepatorenal pouch.